Prediction's pretty good.
Man.
Yeah, fair indeed. Now we do catch a glimpse on how GPX Esports is going to be looking as well. The blanket buffs once again. Is it going to be able to keep their calm, cool, collected decision making in towards game number 2? That's going to be us watching out as well, because this is game number 2 in the upper brackets on how things are going to be going on as well. But MHRLK Esports once again going to be taking blue side again.
Do MHRLK want to take the Eve game in this matchup number 2? Because it works in early matchup in terms of how Fredo just make a little bit mistake to try push MHRLK members inside of the Eve Ultimate. It works for MHRLK, but now the question is, do they want to bring the balance kind of lineup with the Martis as well as the Grok? First pick Grok. Could it be a bad omen? Could it be a good pick for side of MHRLK? It works in early game, late game potential, not so much because the GPX figured out how to just work around with the Beatrix gameplay. So, game number 1, Beatrix. Game number 2, maybe they want to go for a full burst with single target like a Brody gameplay. And MHRLK really needs to think this.
Personally, I think the Faramis was the biggest threat. Yeah, I think they do ban it off, and MHRLK, they have to respect it here, because at the end of the day, Kribu was playing really well on that Faramis. His Cult Altar was really spot on here. Early game, you know, I think like pre-4 minutes here, a little bit sloppy into his Cult Altar here, maybe a little bit warm-up, but by towards the middle stage game, he has been very spot on with his Shadow Stamping catches, his decision-making, his Cult Altar timings as well has been really spot on. So it's respectable that they are going to be banning it, but this opens up so much more. Fredrin up for grabs, Martis up for grabs, MHRLK instantly goes for the Fredrin for those lockdown CCs. GPX now, they have to think, what do they go for? Do they go for Farsa? Do they go for potentially the R-Lot as well? Glue also open for GPX. One of the winning factors as well. They are going to secure the glue, but do they double down on the potential Cho, or maybe even bringing the Digi as well? Because yesterday we saw a game between the Drift as well. See you soon. Faramis ban, no problem. They brought in the Digi, works the same. But this time, not going to be the case. They bring in the Grok for GPX.
Yeah, I think the Grok may be a good pick here, because they know that MHRLK just want to play more aggressive, because they have upper potential because of the first game they won. So MHRLK really need to step up a lot more aggressiveness in terms of how they want to draft in this game. They have the Fredrin, maybe they want to bring down the Ling. They played Ling. A couple more damagey heroes here for maybe a Lunox into the mid lane itself. So GPX kind of want to think, oh, we need some sort of defense for it. Yes, we have a lot of healing coming from Glue, but in terms of defense, who's going to be the rock solid? Maybe the Grok. So in terms of how want to cope with the Grok, it's still hard to figure out, because GPX still has the Brody open. If they want to go for the solo on bottom, they still has the Beatrix they want to steal, or they just go for a Cloud again in this game number 2.
Well, it is going to be a mix of both as well, considering that right now, MHRLK, they have to go for the Farsa for sure. Okay, pretty much strongest mage here, 11 times pick, 72% win rate thus far. It was 90% yesterday, but Cloud this time is going to be a denial here, and it makes a lot of sense, right? It's all about those wombo combos, finding those right opportunities, and playing a Cloud requires the highest level of discipline as a marksman in finding opportunities and waiting for the right moment to strike. So in this case, we were able to see how GPX was able to play. This is going to be a comfort coming from CY as well, from MHRLK, so I'm looking forward to see it go. But GPX, only one-time pick so far with a 100% win rate. Fanny completely ignored yesterday. Today, this time, finally bringing it out on the jungle rotation. And GPX now in a position, ban the Kufra, ban the Ruby. It is going to be good, because there's not a lot to actually deal with this Fanny in terms of counter engagement. Jungler-wise, Fredrin is not necessarily the greatest as well. Forcing a Paquito jungle, forcing a Paquito XP on MHRLK is not going to be helpful for the overall team composition just to deal with this Fanny. So mobility-wise, it's going to be great. However, flexibility-wise, Fredrin is still a flexible hero. So XP lane-wide, Fredrin maybe bringing a link for MHRLK to mirror this up is also a possibility.
I don't know, man, because I think about how the roaming side of MHRLK, if they want to bring the Atlas inside of this matchup, also a good composition. If they doesn't have the Kufra, maybe the Ruby, So in terms of the fat building, it's really good for the side of MHRLK.
Martis jungle isn't too bad as well.
Oh,
but
yeah.
that is going to put the XP Fredrin in a very, very awkward position because
Versus
Fredrin
the glue.
versus glue is going to be extremely, extremely difficult to do so. But as of yet, seeing the carry being banned off means they are looking for another tanky composition for MHRLK. I think Archive jungle is pretty decent against a Fanny. Not the greatest in the early stage of the game, but the heavy spin lockdown for the Fanny is going to allow them opportunities to actually pick the Fanny off. So we might be leaning on that. So GPX, they ban off the Cho. Okay, Cho is a great way to do Fanny as well, so it makes a lot of sense.
I think for the side of GPX, if they want to go for a marksman on the side of gold, I think Melissa is a good pick here because of they can just negate the ultimate coming in from Farsa.
I think Melissa isn't too bad from GPX, but I would prefer Moskov a little bit more.
Oh yeah, in terms of power spike,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, Melissa is great to deal with the Fredrin, but it doesn't necessarily do a great job against a Claude nor a Farsa. So I guess it's a little bit better. Beatrix, it's okay, it's not the greatest as well, but MHRLK was able to play the Beatrix well, so we might see a potential mirror matchup. But looks like they are not gonna go for it. 3 times pick so far. What's it gonna be? It is gonna be the Lunox. Okay. Mage Lunox for the iframes here to dive to Fredrin, ignore the Blazing Duet, ignore the taunt coming in. So I guess I can see where this is coming from, but they're keeping their marksman up in the opens right now to deal with whatever MHRLK Esports bring in. And I don't know. I think GPX, they do play Leslie. Leslie is okay-ish against the Fanny, but no. Arlott completely ignored the Franco for the Bloody Hunt to actually lock down the Fanny. And I'm liking this.
Hard punches, man, from MHRLK. They have the Arlott, they have the Franco. Last pick for GPX.
That's scary.
Can you cope with the Arlott and the Franco? Who is your marksman?
I was worried they had no answer to this Fanny, but the biggest threat right now is that do they have a rotation, quick rotation to deal with this Fanny if they go for the split push potential? Because Arlott's rotation isn't exactly the quickest. In terms of T5, it's the most mobile, but Franco is pretty much the only one that can roam between lanes very quickly just because of passive, but you need your roamer beside you. So this is going to be a big problem for MHRLK if this game drags into the stage where GPX is forced for split push. So I'm a little bit worried for that.
They have the Fanny, they have the Luno split push, maybe 2 lane as well.
Oh, they really go for the Leslie.
You called it.
Oh my goodness. True damage to pierce through all this armor. I was expecting maybe a Clint, but Leslie for those long range snipes to go with. Seems like a very risky approach. We are seeing 2 patches of goals meta right here from GPX, but am I convinced? I don't know. But based on this draft here, I like MHRLK a little bit more better just because of how easier it is to execute based on the composition. But based on how game 1 is, with their level of gameplay, discipline, and precision, GPX can't even the scores with their skills.
For me, I'm the other side, man, because I'm liking how GPX lineup is because it's unpredicting what GPX could do. With the glue in the game number 1, plays really well with the zoning, and that's what they bring now the Leslie and the Grok. If we see Fredo plays down the Chow, did not happen to live long inside of the early game with the Grok early damage as well as tankiness, could they make it a 2-0 win?
Oh, it is going to be tough indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, the upper bracket's on its way. One of these teams is going to be advancing further in the upper brackets, and one of these teams will be jeopardizing into those lower brackets. But as we are GPX 1 game ahead, whereas MHRLK has got a very, very long climb. Aggression coming from Fredo, but it seems like it is going to be a difference in the approach this time, whereas MHRLK focusing mid lane and bottom lane. We do see it is going to be a glue matchup against Arlott.
I just love how Arlott passive is when 10 seconds with you have the mark onto the enemy. If you 1v1, you already have 1 extra dashes to give a lot of damage, and you get double healing at that point. But a couple more damage, the spins comes in with first blood for Ray. Fredrin be taken down. Kelvin be caught off guard. With the blue buff coming in for Ray.
Yeah, there's nothing really much MHRLK could have done in this situation, especially in early game. Fredrin will be completely shut down by a Fanny. And MHRLK just needs to drag this game long enough for this Fredrin come online. And once again, GPX also going to be denying jungle economy away from MHRLK. So that is going to put GPX in the lead in terms of economy. But top side, Walt cannot afford to die here.
Oh.
Well, seems like it's going to be fine. But middle lane, Ray once again snipes down Daiso all by himself. That's going to be 2 kills across the back. The perfect early start for a Fanny here for GPX Esports.
I think for the side of MHRLK, NIX cannot go aggressive because they have a Fredrin jungle. They cannot give a lot of support in terms of rotation though. And GPX really love how the rotation coming in from MHRLK. A little bit late from them, and you have the Fanny. You have a lot more mobility to just go away in terms of movement speed and as well as flying around the map. MHRLK a little bit too late in terms of this turtle takeout. They find one member, CJ, really needs to run away.
Yep, no, he's gonna get chain stun all the way through. That's gonna be a freebie for Ray. They set it up for the jungler, power farm their way through. MHRLK has no choice but to funnel all their economy for CY. Blazing Duet expended as well. Do they expend with the gold blades? Nope, seems like that's gonna be the case as well. Wow, they're holding the ultimate as well, but seems like MHRLK is having a very, very difficult time adapting in this scenario. Because as of yet, Ray will continue with his snowball. He's got the turtle buff, he's got the purple buff as well. And Kelvin, barely getting out away from the jungle objective. But GPX will let go of the pressure for it for now.
Yeah, I think Ziri is playing really well in terms of how progressive onto the bottom side here, leaving Arlot. Yes, we have Arlot with a couple of damage, but Fredo really needs to run away here from Kelvin.
Oh my goodness, Kelvin. They're trying to invade as well, but Fanny is a little bit close by. They are going to try and sync this up. Ray's going to be coming in. Here comes the wall charge. Syncs up with the Fanny. Instantly takes him out. Perfect setup coming in from Ray and Fredo. And MHRLK still no chance to react in time at all. Not a easy game for Kelvin at all. Now CY forced to go for the Blazing Duet. Fredo is there. But fortunately for him, GPX doesn't have the cooldown to fight this at all.
You have the CC coming in for Fredo. You have the burst damage coming in for Ray. Make it an easy kill for the side of GPX. MHRLK, they are not having a good game here. Early match.
Fredo with the wall cables as well. The wall spams Kelvin first of all. The Razor's Breath comes in, but it does not matter. He will still go down. The rest of MHRLK just doesn't have the economy or the levels to challenge this at all, as GPX will continue to snowball their lead.
It's going to be really hard on the side of MHRLK. They tried and tried, but the level on GPX a little bit too much to be handled with.
Fredo with the wall charge tries to get a little bit cheeky to try and catch him off, and NIX going to be zoned off and tickled away. Where are you hooking? Absolutely nothing, but still a difficult angle to hook to begin with. But GPX continues with their snowball. They try to power farm what as of yet with this Destiny, but again, another turtle in the hands of GPX.
Yeah, Ray really has the momentum here because of the speed that Ray has.
Wow.
He
Hold that thought, Ray. You know, getting a little bit threatening there. Looking to go for the snipe if he actually gets the connection. So MHRLK in a lot of trouble for now, but GPX now gonna be going for a couple of fights in. Ziri, very, very difficult to kill him. Kelvin needs this gold crab to actually farm his way through. Ziri not gonna be making it easy. Forces the Appraisal's Wrath just to secure some sort of economy. And hopefully he is gonna be able to redeem himself. Meanwhile, top side, GPX looking for a dive. CY giving the position, knows where he is. Cable comes in as well. CY, 2 shots gone with the wall charge. Goodbye, CY.
I think GPX should just open a cleanup job, man. He just takes up bodies off the bodies. MHRLK could not play this matchup. Kelvin is 0-3, and as well as CY 0-1. But the members of outside of MHRLK, they have no momentum at all.
Oh no, Kelvin finally shows himself. I don't think he has the Appraisal's Wrath. Yes, he does. Finally latches his mom. Goes for a chain stun, but they need to be careful. But Appraisal's Wrath not going to be able to connect in time. So that's going to be another kill in the hands of Ray. A very early Malefic Roar as well. 5-6 minutes into the game for this Fanny. Meanwhile, Wall gonna be showing himself down mid as well. He still has his ultimate to give vision for Ray to go for snipe down. But moments before the truth, he's still securing his purple buff. Here comes the cancel from Fredo to cancel off the feathered airstrike. No damage whatsoever for MHRLK. But as of yet, purple buff contest coming in, but seems like GPX is just not interested.
Yeah.
Bottom lane is gonna be the objective here for Ray for now.
MHRLK could not put up the good solid defense, man, for the side of GPX because the damage at the level what GPX has right now, the defense for the side of MHRLK could not withstand. They need to throw out so much ultis just trying to shoo away member GPX.
No, they're going all for the hook doesn't connect. They know Ray is there. Ray forced to disengage, but 5-man down bottom means Leslie is gonna get a little more farm. Ray almost stealing it, but at the same time, both using the retribution. That means Turtle is going to be out for contest. MHRLK doesn't have the retribution yet, so Kelvin doesn't have the level, so that is going to be a free Turtle. So great game sense coming from GPX as they know their current position is just so much far ahead compared to MHRLK.
GPX put on the slow burn. Ray comes in with a couple more damage.
Wall charge comes in as well. They take down CJ, looking for more. The Feather Extra barely doing anything as well. Kelvin keeping the glue in check. But it is going to be a wrong target for MHRLK. Nothing he can do against the glue. The taunt comes in, but GPX is just not interested. Fredrin no longer has his effectiveness as of yet. But if MHRLK can buy time, and if they can buy time, they will be able to come back as well. Here comes the split coming in. He's thinking about going for the latch. Trying to find the right target, but here he comes. It's a bait. Break Brilliance comes in as well. Under tier 2s, but GPX looks like they're not going to overheat it as well. The Blazing Duet comes in, but CY gets two-shotted by the Leslie. Ray thinking of stealing the kill, but unfortunately, Wall is online as well. What? Gonna be a little bit too hard to handle as they continue with the fight. 3-man getting caught out with the wall charge. Instant execution. Double kill for Ray. Hunter strike to progress further. 12 kills to nothing. GPX Esports, complete execution, complete dominance here for game number 2.
MHRLK late game potential is far outside right now because GPX is all over the map with the Fanny pick here. Ray is boasting around. He knows where to fight. He knows where to kill the steal coming in for the side of their members as well. But I just want to give some credit for Fredo when he knows where to position himself to just deny NAX hook coming in. MHRLK, they are crumbling slow by slow here. Maybe the game will end a couple more minutes.
Oh, this is so hard to watch, especially for the Filipino fans here, because right now they can't find any potential to make a comeback at all. They cannot afford to overheat, but GPX, they're not giving him any opportunity to punish this. This Fanny is 8-2, is level 13, just got his shoes as well for those reduction, and now with the Lord coming in, MHRLK has no way to contest this at all. Very, very easy pickings all the way through.
Yeah, Kelvin already finished his Radiant Armor. Look at the damage coming in for Kribo itself, but he doesn't have the answer for Ray with a lot more additional damage that Ray could give. And no other members of MHRLK could stand the speed that GPX has that just dominates this matchup. MHRLK find a way. Only one hook, I think, that could save the hook onto Fanny. If they hook, maybe Leslie, the Fanny is still alive. The Fanny could just go in and out to take the kill.
Look at how afraid MHRLK is. They're just grouping up as fight. There's nothing much they can do. Everyone's gonna share the economy, and because of this, it is gonna hurt Kelvin as well as CY in scaling into this game. And GPX, they're just gonna get all the objectives now, and there's nothing much MHRLK can actually do. 12k net worth advantage for GPX. This is going to be hard to watch here for the Filipino fans.
Defense or no defense coming in from MHRLK. They cannot go onto the jungle. They cannot go outside because GPX has a lot more burst damage. Could be dealt by Fredo as well as Jiri. The disrupt coming in for Ziri is too much to be handled.
Yeah, you need the perfect hook, but he just could not find it as well. There's so much to work with. Fredo, look at this. Threatening him here. For wall charge is going to set things apart, but they will lose the inhibitor. Meanwhile, Fanny down bottom as well. Going to keep Kelvin occupied. They're playing it safe, but no! Ray instantly kills Kelvin just because he was too close to the wall. Ray, what an absolute monster on this Fanny.
You cannot
My
delete
God.
that. You cannot delete that footage. It was already live stream, man. MHRLK get on the sand. Federer right class finish.
Brilliance comes in, wall charge as well to go in for the finish. Ray finish over the rest as well. Killing spree for Leslie, but they will clean out inhibitors. GPX, they're wiping the floor with them. CY finally gets one kill, but even then, he has to pay with his life. Triple kill for the Leslie. Kelvin, last man standing, but it is going to be a wipeout as GPS closes out Game 2. Takes 2-0 against MHRLK Esports, knocking them down in towards the lower brackets. What a dominance from the Indonesian squad. GPX, ladies and gentlemen, is currently advancing.
Yes, GPX, the Indonesian supremacy coming in for the upper brackets. MHRLK looked confident in game number 1. What happened in game number 2 is forever their secret.